Good morning. I'm honored to be with you this morning. Rosalind is truly one of my great friends. Uh, Donna Gildorf was one of my truly great friends. And you've had the privilege of having some other people that have been with me down through the years, like Linda Dominic. Is that a familiar name to you? Yes, I know it is. And you also allowed one of our students to work with you to get during her internship until she finished school and was able to secure a place downriver Detroit in a service where the minister was retiring, Anita Graham. So I've got history with you guys, even though this is our first time really being together. So thank you for having me. I hope that some of you have taken the time to look up the title that I gave you, because it is the title of a book by Dr. Martin Luther King. I don't know if it's the only book that he ever wrote, but I do know that it was one of his books, the book that he wrote that kind of outlined how he lived in the world and how he saw the world as a place for all of us, a place of love, a place of caring for each other, a place where God lives. So this morning, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about strength to love. And I'm not going to be here very long. So I'm not going to keep you at church long. You're going to get to go home, put your food together, and watch the Grammys. So what does it take to have strength to love? That's my question for you today. What does it take to have strength to love? And why do we need to have strength to love? First off, what it takes is desire. A desire for, as Charles Fillmore said, for the highest good, for the object of our concern. That is love. The very highest, just like our Father has our best interests at heart at all times. The object is us. Each of us has someone in our lives that we could say, I love you too. It may be a child. It may be our spouse. It may be our sibling. It might even just be our neighbor who has shown themselves to be worthy in our minds of love. In truth, we all are worthy. Now, whether we accept that or not is up to us. But we truly all are worthy of love. But it does take some strength to do it. We have to be willing to put it out here. Once we're willing, then we find out how. We find out what is the best way to do this. What is the best way to give from our hearts the love that is in our hearts. because it's already there. Once we find out what it takes to do that, we start gathering the strength to do it, to release it. So when we do, as we do, we gain more and more of the strength and more of the love. Love, a little bit of love, creates even more love. And the more love we give, the more love we have. The more love we give, the stronger we get, the more we're able to give. As we do this, as we find ourselves receiving even more love because of the strength that is building up within us, most of us are a little surprised. Oh, I can do this? I can do that? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. And as you find out you can, I'm quite sure you will. You will have that strength bubbling over, spilling out into the world, just like your love will bubble over and spill out into the world. No mistake about it. Love is not something for us to keep. It is something for us to give. Former President Jimmy Carter said something that's really interesting. Said the only things that we can truly give each other are the only things that we truly need. An ear to listen, a heart to care, a word of encouragement, and a hand to help. If you notice it, within his statement was the phrase, a heart to care. From our hearts, that is where we care. And if it was good enough for him to recognize such a wonderful individual that he is, it's good enough for me. And hopefully it's good enough for you. That thing that we can truly give includes what we give from the heart. A heart to care, to be concerned, to want the best for. All of that is about love. When we give, we receive it back. When we give, as we give, we get stronger in the giving. And I don't know about you, but I want to be stronger day by day. I want my love that I give out into the world to strengthen not only me, not only my initial object of my affection, but everyone in my environment. You know, I belong to a senior center here in Detroit. I attend 2-3 days a week. I run a group there called When Sisters Speak. And it's a group of women that come together and they talk about whatever they want to talk about. One of the things I've found about our group is everyone in it, everyone who comes on a pretty regular basis, it has concern and care about the other members. They have love in their hearts and they are willing to share it. Sometimes it's good advice and really and truly good advice. I've had people point people to the right doctors, to the right places to help with their housing, to help places, to have places to go to help with some other things that are more personal than that. And what we do stays in the group for the most part, unless, of course, it needs to go to the advocacy center there at the center. Advocacy department, rather, there at the center. And if somebody needs to talk to one of the advocates and somebody else in the group knows about it, then they open up and they share that. And they tell them who to go talk to, where to get the help that they need. All of that, for me, is about how we share our love of each other. It doesn't always have to be interpersonal relationship love, but how we share is very important. And because of that, the group has grown stronger and stronger, not necessarily larger all the time. Because like, for instance, the other week when the weather was really bad here, some days there was just myself and one or two other people. But people come and they share and they are growing. Because of this, I see the love in the group growing. I see the love getting stronger. In a couple of months, we're going to have a festival there at the center that will help raise money for the center's operational costs. I'm watching people starting already to get busy with their list of people they're going to sell tickets to events, people that they're going to invite to come, people that they know have been before, and people that they know haven't been and yet can come and be a part of it. And they're doing all of that because they love what they get as a part of the center. All of that is a part of the strength that they have from the love that they have in their hearts. You know, Dr. King was described by some intellectuals as an organic intellectual. And I thought about that the first time I heard it. I said, what in the world are they talking about? And, excuse me. And what surfaced was one that was naturally an intellectual. Just like organic food is natural, he was a natural intellectual. And I think that as a natural intellectual, not necessarily the result of his education from books or from school, but what God had already placed inside of him. That is what they were talking about. Because of that, he could tap into his strength, and out of that strength, love all of us. And he showed it by his work, as well as through his writings that he left for us to partake of. When you use your strength to love, it will grow stronger. You will see the outworking. You will see the unfoldment. You will see it grow, and you will grow right along with it. No mistake about it. When you have strength and you use it to love, it gets better and better and better. Of that I am assured. God bless you. I love you. Keep doing that wonderful work that Donna started. You know, she was one of my teachers when I was in ministerial school, way back in the day. And what she did was out of love. You are sitting right now in a space that was created because she had the strength to love these principles in your community. And for those of you who were there then, each of you, and for those of you who came along later, didn't have to see you. She knew you would be there. And she knew that you would love this church also. So God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Like I said, go home, get your dinner ready, sit down, watch the Grammys. Don't eat too much, but have a good time.
God bless.